Well, good evening. It is Tuesday, September 17th, and I'm excited to be here. Jeff and I are here, and we're going to be talking about the Wheel of Opportunity tonight. So, last time that we met, actually, we talked about targeting our audience being the family and friends. And so, Jeff, did you have any questions, concerns, comments on that?
Actually, I wasn't. Oh, okay. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, we didn't do it last week because of didn't have a quorum, I guess.
Right.
Not so far. Again, I've that's been pretty vocal. It's just I've not had a lot of luck in my warm market. So
Okay.
just been kind of, been talking to some people. Maybe some people will come around once they actually see the benefit in it. Now, having said
Okay.
that, my daughter and son-in-law did get a ID Shield from me.
Okay.
So
Okay. So here is the subject that I kind of wanted to talk about tonight. And it kind of goes hand in hand. And I think you and I have already kind of had this conversation of how the small business plans and the employee benefit side kind of go hand in hand. Um, so this is going to be probably a continuation into next week because I can't get everything in one thing because I want to go slow and take it apart and us discuss it and all of that. Um, but what I'm finding is there's no cookie cutter um, way when you go in to talk to a business owner or a decision maker or an HR person or whatever to know for sure should I talk about the small business plan first, or should I talk about the employee benefit side first? Um, because it's really how the conversation goes, right? That makes sense. Um,
it does.
I'm finding out that you really can't go off of a script. This is perfect example. I went into my vet's office to buy my dog some medicine here a few weeks ago, and the vet happened to be standing there. And he's a really nice guy. It's a small town. And I said, "Hey," I said, listen, I got some information I want to share with you. Do you think I could steal about 15, 20 minutes of your time next week?" And he said, "Sure." He said, so I called, made the appointment, went in. And I had all my stuff out there for like the employee benefit side because that's kind of what I was targeting. And he got to talking. He was just talking, and he was telling me how he was a victim of identity theft and how they were buying something from him and his wife were buying something from the for the vet's office, and he totally got scammed um, on his credit card. But it kind of went from that conversation to, oh my goodness, I need to look at this for protecting my business. So I started asking him questions about, well, how many authorized users do you have? I mean, like, how many people do you want to be able to contact the attorneys and all that? He said, oh, it's just me and my wife. And I said, okay, that's good. And so it ended up being a whole big thing, right? Before it was over. Um, so I'm supposed to do the presentation tomorrow, Thursday. I have no idea at all if I know I'm gonna do the employee benefit side, but I have no idea if he wanted um, the small business plan or what I'm walking into. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go in about 30 minutes early, and I'm going to try to talk to him and see what this is going to look like before I start doing the presentation. So, but what I'm saying is this: I've learned to kind of take the perfection out of it if that's a word in this, and just be me and just have real conversations with these people. I went in and I did a DM meeting last week, and the girl really complimented me on not being salesy because she said I deal with that all day long. So I went in and I kind of talked to her, and I just point blank told her, and this was my little spiel or speech or whatever, because I want them to feel comfortable when I'm there. Is I said, listen, I said, I'm not here. I don't have 5 bullet points to share with you. You know, I don't have a script that I'm going by. I'm just wanting to have a conversation with you about what's important to your company with your employees. Um, I want to come in. This is my goal to do an ID workshop with them because I'm finding that with employees that the identity theft is like such a huge thing now, and they're having to take off from work and all this. Um, and we just sat there and we talked, about that. And she told me after it was over, she said, I really appreciate how you came in here. She said, that was just so nice that you weren't trying to push a bunch of stuff on me. And she said, I'm definitely interested. And of course, I got to run it by the owner and yada, yada. So, um, with her, the small business plan never came up. Not really. But I'm going to, when I go back in, I'm going to say, hey, by the way, I have this as well. And so I'm just going to kind of make it fit together like that. So does that make sense to y'all about that? One of the things that when I called Business Solutions of the other day, and I want to show you guys this because I did not even know this was there. Can y'all see my screen? Okay. Can y'all see it? Okay.
I can.
Okay.
I can
So
see it.
this is on Ellis Engage. So under your Business Solution tab, there's a section called Business Solutions Resource Guide. I had no idea this was there. He told me, he said, this is any document you will ever need for doing business solutions.
Yeah, I found that a couple weeks ago. It comes in handy for the ones like it says New York because there's so many different caveats and different rules.
Right. Well, I didn't even know this was there.
That's cool.
There's so much on Ellis Engage. I mean, but he showed me this. I mean, I can't even. It just goes on and on. Yeah. But what I would suggest is if you're looking for something, either call the Business Solutions department and get them to tell you specifically where it's at, or just kind of go through this. Like this has your CDL stuff all right here. If you're working with CDLs, this has everything on here that you need. Everything. Here's your proposals. It's just everything. So here's HR flyers. It's really good. Now I will show y'all what I'm using right now. I don't know if it'll come up. Y'all can't see this part, can you? I can't move it over.
I can see where you've got the check mark by plan summary, but it doesn't look like anything open. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So I found this, and this is what I'm using in DM meetings because I put in my prices down here. And then I have, well, y'all can't see it, but my information is all down here at the bottom. This, what I've learned is this, and I learned this from Bill Stovall, is you have to have a reason like to go in there, right? So there's different, there's a couple of things he told me never to say. He said, never mention sales and never mention employee benefits. He said, they're going to get you out of there faster than you came. So I don't say that. There's a couple of ways that I'm playing around with when I'm calling these people. One thing you can say that you can see how it works. I mean, it depends on your audience. Is, hey, this is Tammy Martin. I was assigned to your office to come in and prepare an identity workshop for your employees. That's one thing. What I'm saying and what is easy for me to say is that I say, hey, my name is Tammy Martin, and I am working with a program that is really helping and enhancing employee productivity. I would love the opportunity to come in, meet you in person, share some information with you, and you may or may not be interested. It's totally fine, but I would really value your feedback. That way it doesn't sound so salesy. And like Bill Stovall told me, he said, you've got to get it in your head that you are a business owner just like they are. You are not trying to sell them anything because this is coming nothing out of the employer's pocket. This is all coming from the employees. He says, so technically you're really not selling them anything. You wanting them to see the information, be able to present it to their employees. The employees pay for it by payroll deduction or self-pay. Or you can do half and half, or the company pays for all of it, or whatever. So I'm getting, like I called all day Monday for about 6 hours straight, and I got my 4 DM meetings. So, but I knew, like, today's Tuesday, I knew I was going to have my granddaughter a little bit today, so I wanted to try to get everything done before I had her. Okay, so I'm calling. My friend totally hates calling, and he just walks in. It's a preference. Mike Riches says, pick one. Don't do both. Like, pick your route you want to go, and stick with it, because you're going to spend about the same amount of time on doing both, right? The other part is the CDL, which I think I might want to go over that kind of separate, because that's a whole nother animal altogether. If you haven't taken the class, I would encourage you to take the class, because it's a really good class, because they deal with a data queue system. And I learned a lot with CDLs, like if they get a ticket, if they get 2 violations within 30 days, or I think it's 30 days, then they're off the road for a while. Well, that's their paycheck, so we actually have a law firm in Oklahoma, one law firm that deals with just CDL problems. And so I thought that was pretty cool too. But there's a lot with the CDLs, and I can share some stuff with y'all that I have on that. But tonight I really just wanted to talk about the small business plan. It's kind of hard just to talk about that without talking about the employee benefit side, because it all just kind of meshes together. Now, Melissa Peters does a great training back in the back office under the sales master classes for small business. She explains how she explains it to the owner and all of this. Here's my thing with that. I'm like, okay, why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? I'm going to mention the small business plan no matter which way I do it. If I go in and I'm just all about the employees first, or like with my vet, I kind of talked about it anyway, because he was like, I'm interested, in protecting my business. So, I showed him the collection letters. I showed him that you can, access your attorney for questions, all of that stuff. I know with vets, they're expensive. And especially out here in the South, where we have like a lot of cows and horses and things like that, they have to do a lot of house calls. And I'm sure people just, sometimes forget conveniently to pay them. So they may, run into some problems with that. So I would encourage you to go through LS Engage. There's so much out there to get your forms together, right? So I have a form in my briefcase. I have my DM, that's my DM meeting. And then I have my group authorization forms. I have my membership applications. I have a folder for associate applications because you never know who you're going to run into that will say, hey, I just kind of want to do what you're doing. So you always want to have that on hand. And then you want to have your packets that you give them when they do sign up. But you got to have this stuff organized. And the reason I say have all this when you go into your DM meeting is because I show it to them. I say, look, when your employees sign up, I give them the information that they need and I show them all of this. And so they know that they're dealing with a professional. They're just not dealing with somebody and they're trying to be fly by night, So, but I've also learned in doing this that they don't like scripts. They want real people. They want real, somebody that's going to care about their business. And I assure them, okay, I am your customer service. So you ain't got to worry about calling the 800 number. If you need anything, give me a call. I'll take care of you. Because when you start taking care of people's business, that is your account. So then you automatically also want to go in as soon as you do your enrollment, set up a time to go back and do a like once a year for new employees. Go back in and service them. You don't want to just leave it there because if you do, somebody else is going to come in on it. Which I don't think they can. If they try to verify it through corporate, they'll say the group's already taken. But it's your reputation too, right? So that's one thing. And I want to share something else with y'all that I'm kind of doing, which I am really enjoying. Let me get out of this. So I know that most of you guys were recruiting a little bit, right? Y'all were kind of playing around with it. So this is what I'm doing. So this is one thing Jim taught us. Jim said, what you put in the funnel at the top is going to come out the funnel in the bottom, right? If you put in quality in the top, you're going to get quality out the bottom. So I was thinking, when I pulled resumes, I always pulled realtors because realtors understood commission. They understood the 1099. They understood all of that. The only thing that realtors don't have is residuals. That's it. So every day I found this. It's realtors.com. Realtor.com is what it is. And I put in my city, my state. Look, y'all, I've got 28 pages of realtors. So I am going through here and it gives you their phone number and I'm calling them. And do y'all remember, I wrote this down. Are y'all on the Thirsty thing with Jim? Or do y'all listen to it when I send the playbacks back through?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Okay. So this is his, I wrote out his questions that he said, right? So I have it sitting right here on my computer. So I'm not fumbling all over myself and trying to memorize what I'm trying to say. So when I'm calling these realtors, like I called this one today and I said, hey, Erica, my name is Tammy Martin. I know you do not know me, but I am working with realtors in the Northeast Louisiana area. And I just wanted to ask you, do you at all keep your options open when it comes to earning income outside of what you're doing with your real estate business or something that can be included with your real estate business, right? I'm going strictly off of what Jim taught us. This is it. And if they say, yeah, sure, I say, great. If I sent you some information over, when would you have a chance to review it? And if they say, well, I can review it tonight, I say, great. When would be an appropriate time for me to follow up with you? You know, would you want me to email it, or would you want me to text that information to you? So since I've been starting that, I also have a notebook of how many, like per day. I try to do 5 a day. Say yes. I get 5 yeses a day, and then on my calendar, I put in there that I follow up when I'm supposed to follow up with them. This is the deal. I'm sending them the Brian Carruthers video. He talked about it in his training. I watched the video. Brian Carruthers was a realtor before Legal Shield. If y'all want the thing to it, let me know. I'll send it to you. It is like genius.
Please
Because
do.
okay, he talks about I'll put it in the accelerated. All you guys are in the accelerated group on GroupMe. Okay, I'll put it in there. Watch it though. You have to watch it, because what it did for me when I watched it was it gave me the lingo to talk to the realtors. Like, because I say with the identity theft, I say, listen, this works really well with your homeowners, because what happens if you get in the middle of your closing and somebody hacks their ID or does something with their ID, and then their credit score goes bad, and your whole deal is on hold at that point. So we have the private investigators that's going to come in and take care of all that for you. So it really benefits them as well as it benefits the homeowner. I talked to Jim about this yesterday, I guess. So I asked him, I said, so when they say yes and they're realtors, and you're thinking they're adding this in with their real estate business, like when they're doing the closing, right? I said, do you think that putting them through the company orientation, all that, like we normally do, is that what we're supposed to do with this? Because I'm trying to get on the right track. I'm trying to get my thing done. And he said, yes. He said, because he said some of those realtors are going to branch off and do Legal Shield full time. He said, and they all need the training, right? He said, so yes, you need to do that. He said, now if they're ready to sign them up. He said, the first question is, did you watch the information that I sent you? What did you like best? He said, just like we always do. And then you go into, if they're wanting more information, he said, send them through the company orientation. He said, once they sign up, because he said, when you do that and you put them through the company orientation, then they have access to the whole success team. They have all that training, and then they can do that. So I just wanted to put that little bug in you guys' ear. I'm kind of going down this path with the realtors because I know they're professional. I know they understand the commission. I know that they're missing the residual part because they sell a house, it's over, then they got to go get another house. Some of them are having a hard time because the economy is not that great with buying and selling houses right now. So, you could work all over the United States doing this. Like you could put in realtors in California, like Los Angeles, California. Do you know how many realtors are out there? I mean, and it's just an avenue, right? Jim says, as long as you have a list, you've got to keep working off of a list. Where's your list? The other thing that I do is I'll show you guys this. When I'm working with my companies, so Bill Stovall told me to work with blue collars workers. He said he was more successful with blue collars than white collars. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you could not be successful with white collars, because you probably could, but I'm just taking the advice of somebody that's made millions, right? I mean, what do I know? So, what I did was I went to yellowpages.com, and I typed in like electrical, and I typed in the city, West Monroe, Louisiana, and it brought me up all of these companies to call. And I have 3 pages of them. So I have like 89 companies. This is just for electrical. So you could put in,
That today.
huh?
I did that today. for
That
my,
is
you know,
so awesome because it's a list. It's a list. Back in the day, people would really have to go to the library or go to a phone book or something and copy pages to call. We have it right here. We don't even have to leave. So on Mondays, that's what I spend my day. I call. In fact, this is my whole list. I printed them out and I write my notes on here. You know, if I call them, what they said, if I'm supposed to call somebody back, and I just go back through my notes every day. But it's just a numbers game. But I thought maybe that this would give y'all some ideas on where to go. You know, I'm always getting leads if I'm see a truck with a phone number on it, if I see a sign in the yard, whatever. I'm doing it all. You know, the thing is, Bill Stovall said you need to make no. Scott Brooks said you need to make enough calls to have 4 DM meetings a week. He said that was his gauge, 4 DM meetings a week. So that's what I'm trying to follow. I know that if I just have 4, somebody's going to cancel. So I'm trying to really book like 6 in case somebody falls off. Then I have some more. But that's my goal of doing that. So I'm pretty excited about this because I'm really kind of embracing the whole wheel of opportunity because I'm still working with family, and friends, warm market. I'm still recruiting, right? I'm working with my realtors. And then I'm doing the B2B side. And then I went through the CD. I haven't really branched out and started calling CDL companies yet because I got to get this down. Here's my goal. My goal is I want to be so proficient in doing DM meetings and doing the enrollments that when you guys get to that point, you don't have to worry about a field trainer. You can say, hey, Tammy, I got 4 DM meetings set. Could you come? And I come and I literally come and help you. That is what I want to do for my team. But I'm having to do the work to be able to get to that point. I mean, I think about what I might do like next week when I call is record it, like on Zoom, record it so you guys can see me actually, because that's hard to train, but you guys can see me actually doing my phone calls and hearing both sides of the conversation because I always have my phone on speaker. I don't know if that would help y'all or not, if y'all want to hear all that.
I
But
would love it. That's like that Dave, was it Dave Paperno?
Dave Paperno, and I did not, I shouldn't say this is recorded. But mine and his personality didn't.
I can say it if you want.
Yeah, I will too.
Did y'all both listen to that?
Let's just say it wasn't my flavor, but yeah.
It was California too, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know where he's at.
I
I
think it
didn't
was.
like it. Because I went with Bill Stovall because I heard him speak.
Mhm.
Mark had him on the Zoom on one of our team meetings, and I heard his whole story. His wife died, and he had to make it work, and he had a little boy, and yada yada. So I thought, who else to get better advice from than somebody that has been in a place where there was no plan B? I don't want to talk to somebody, and I know this is terrible, y'all. I shouldn't be saying this is recorded. But when you're talking to somebody that comes from money and they don't feel the struggle that people feel that have to make this work. And there's a difference. Like when I talked to Renee McKnight, I love Renee. She was a single mom. She I think she had just found out she was pregnant. And when she found Legal Shield, she had to make it work. Like, and that's what, she and I have become friends, and she has shared that with me. And she's been doing it over 20 years. So when I need some advice with something, I'll call her. I will, of course, Jim is like my number one guy to go to. Like, I just love me some Jim Tanner. But I'm happily married, y'all. So just saying. But I did tell him today he was going to have to read my eulogy if something happened to me, because he just would put the into it, But I said it's going to be a celebration, it ain't going to be a sad occasion. But anyway, I called Bill Stovall. I have never met this man in my life, ever. I found him on Facebook, and I messaged him, and I said, "Hey, can I get about 20 minutes of your time? I'm in Legal Shield and would love to get your feedback." And he said, "Sure." And he gave me his number, and we set an appointment, and I called him. He talked to me over an hour about it, and some of the nuggets that I took from that is what I'm telling y'all. He said, "Don't mention sales." He said, "I did not mention where I was from." And that's one thing Dave Cebola did. Hey, this is Dave from Legal Shield. I don't do all that. And he said, you have to be different. You have to bring something different to the table. So I thought, okay. He even said that he would do magic tricks to get past the gatekeeper. I'm not doing magic tricks, but I try to make a connection with whoever it is I'm talking to. I'm not ugly to her. Most time it is the secretary. If she asks me what is concerning, like, as they do that, I would just say, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to be in the area, and I wanted to stop in and meet whoever is in charge of your HR department. I just have some information I'd like to share." I'm really nice about it. Sometimes I get their name, sometimes I don't. It's just, it's whatever. I try not to sound scripty, and I try to be very humanly with these people because that's what they're wanting. I think people are so sick of fake, honestly. And it's the same thing with our business. And really, y'all, that's why I had to take a step back and say, okay, my team needs somebody they can follow. I need to be doing this, like, in all realms of the situation, because I know how I would feel if I was just recruited into this and somebody was sitting there trying to tell me what to do, and I'd be like, "Well, what are you doing?" That would just be my first take on it. Like, "What are you doing? Just sitting there with a computer?" But I don't want to be like that. That's why I want to get really good at B2B so that I can help. I can come and help, because people are telling me all the time, "Well, what about the field trainer? Do we get a field trainer?" And you do get bonuses for field trainers if you do all that. And that's great. If you want to do that, great. I'm not a field trainer. But I will tell you this, it is more fun doing this with somebody that that you kind of have a connection with, and it strengthens our team. To me, I'm not telling you that you would have to use me, but I'm just saying it's just I wouldn't want somebody to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, I can help your person. Let's just jump on a Zoom." I don't do that. I like to be in person. I like to be there where I can show you, okay, this is what we need to fill out. This is what they need to fill out. This is how I do this. So you can literally be there. So they feel like if they fall, they're not going to die, especially if they're doing a group enrollment, So, but I would just say, just take this thing. I have no like outline on how to do small business or employee benefits. I don't know. I don't know which one should come first. It depends on the conversation, and it depends on how things are going and what the vibes are. It's definitely mentioned in both. Both are mentioned, but I can't tell you what order they should be mentioned. All I'm saying is I don't think people want the scripty, salesy, pushy thing. I just don't. Yeah, I just don't. So, I take them a little mug, with some little candy in it. You can go. These are just some ideas. Mark has some on the back office. He has those tumblers that I think you get 50 for like $200. 50 would last you several months. If you're doing 4 DM meetings a week, it lasts you a few months. Another idea, I've done this. Go to the dollar store, get you a white mug, just a white mug, and put you some candy in it. And y'all know those streamer ribbons? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
What you talking about?
Hold on, I'll get you. I'll show you. These, like this, and get you some purple and white, and you just do them like that, and then like make your string about yay long, and then tie it on there, and then you get you some scissors, and you can do it like that, and it curls it up, real cute. So not a hard thing, not expensive. It's purple and white for Legal Shield. If you wanted to with the candy, they have the pins. Mark has the pins in the back office. They're not very much. They're like $20 for, I think 25, 50 of them. I don't know. It wasn't very much, but you could stick a pin in there, something with Legal Shield on it. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. These people are not going to pay their next bill off of a coffee mug. They're just not. So what matters is you're bringing something for their time to sit there and listen to you for 15 minutes. That's it. I'm not telling you to go in debt on this stuff. Don't do that. But by the time you do your first enrollment, like you get your first 10, 20 people, you're going to be making enough money. It'll be all right, But I'm just saying, these are just some simple things you can do. You can just go to the dollar store. Make this as simple. Now, I know Mark said in one of his trainings that he gave everybody that signed up a mug, yada, yada, whatever. So I don't do that either. So what I do is if I'm going to a place where I know it's all guys, I'll go to Tractor Supply and get a $20 gift card. And then what I do is I have a roll of tickets. You can buy tickets at Walmart. We don't have anything else here but Walmart. So I don't know what you guys have where y'all live. I just have Walmart. And I give them a ticket. And if they sign up that day, they get to put their name on the back of the ticket. And then I do a drawing for the gift card. So that way, everybody's included. And people want money. One girl was so excited that she got a gift card. I think I did it for $25, but I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, she was so excited. I mean, because she needed gas that day for something or something. But people want money, and that speaks. But I make it cute. If I went to Tractor Supply, they have the little gift card holder thingies, look like a toolbox. If I was doing a girl, then I would either get a generic $25 gift card or go to Hobby Lobby. Women love Hobby Lobby. So, I mean, know your audience. If it's mixed, you get a generic card. Or you may have another idea. It's your business. You do with it what you want. I'm just saying, put your personality into it, because people are going to buy you first. They're not going to buy the product first. They're going to buy you. And when I go do my presentations, I tell them up front, I say, look, y'all, I am here to share some information with you that could be very valuable. And then I just go into I always start with the ID first. And then I say, okay, now the ID shield is married to the Legal Shield, and this is why. I did, and I do love Scott Brooks's presentation. I think he did a magnificent job, and I loved it. And I've used a lot of his lingo. I just have found for me that it rolls off better if I come off with the ID first. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. Maybe the blonde got to my head too much. I don't know. But I just, I just, I mean, I have to do me, and I'm not telling y'all that what Scott did was what Scott did was like genius. Like I used the part where he gets them to start writing on the application, whether they take it or not. Now that I do, that was genius. I love that. Um, I use a lot of his lingo, like the word unlimited calls. Did y'all hear what I said? I said unlimited. And I kind of make a joke about it. So take it apart, be you, because people are going to see that authenticity, that word. I'm from the South. I can't talk, but people see the realness in you, and they know when you're faking, and they know when you're not. So, but these are just some sources that you guys can use. We're never going to cross over on each other doing realtors. I mean, my gosh, there's millions of them all over the United States. I mean, you can even choose Hawaii, but you can use the yellowpages.com to pick your audience. So the other thing that they did show me, and I'll show you guys real quick, is down here, the group availability. You can actually put in groups in there, like a business name, their phone number, whatever, to find out if it is available or not. And they said that you will get a response back in like 24 hours. Now, I put in one the other day, I didn't get a response, and I called them. They said, oh, yeah, we had that. I said, well, why didn't I get an email? They said, we don't know. So sometimes I guess you have to call them. I mean, they're people too, but you just click on that, and then you just put in your thing. I'll kind of show y'all. Well, you put in your information, then it'll ask you to put in the business information. It's really, pretty simple. So, but I hope this kind of helped y'all, gave y'all some bigger ideas. It's a numbers game. Like I said, I sat here Monday. Probably, I know it was about 5 or 6 hours calling to get my 4 DM meetings, because you're going to get a lot of no's. But it's okay with me, because I'm just like, bless their heart. They tell me no, they're going to get in trouble, and then they're going to have a lawyer. So I just move on. They say no, I say next. So, you just move on, because this is so worth the time, because once you get all that going, then it's like free. Work on your recruiting, never stop recruiting, because that's your future. And you want to help people build that financial freedom for them. Like Bill Stovall said, he had a guy that absolutely quit his job and just started telling Bill, I'm going to do what you do. And Bill's like, oh my God, he's like, just quit your job for me. And so, but what he did was he saw what Bill did, and he saw the money Bill was making. Bill has retired. He is making over $20,000 in residuals a month. He said, why should I work? So, I mean, he did it for like 7 years, and he made his retirement. So I am following the ones that have done it. And he trained Scott Brooks, because I was trying to get a hold of Scott Brooks, but I was not successful in doing that. But he told me he trained Scott Brooks. So I figured that's even better. So if you hear somebody that has done it, call them. I mean, I know that Jeff has talked to Jim. Call them, talk to them. That's what they're there for, So, but that's what I'm doing, and that's, I'm excited about that. And we can go over more of this next week. If y'all want to, if y'all, if you go out and have questions, want to come back and revisit this, we can. It's up to y'all. So, would y'all have anything before we close this thing out?
I just have a quick question. with realtors, do you focus mainly on the ID Shield products since Legal Shield kind of gets into looking at documents, or do you just everything with them?
Yeah, because they need the legal shield because the homeowners, you know, hire contractors to redo their new house, or they want to put in carpet or tear down a wall or whatever. What happens if they don't show up? What happens if they overcharge them? You know, they don't have any legal backing.
And then you're also going to put that video in the group meeting.
I'll do it in the accelerated part. Yep. It's an awesome video. I listened to it on my way home a few weeks ago, and I was like, wow. Because that's why it's so important to go to these Zoom meetings, especially things that Jim does, because he teaches this stuff. And then this is stuff we don't hear on the big platform. It's stuff that you get in the intimate group settings that he does. And everything that he does, I keep a recording. I keep in my phone. I have all of his trainings, like all of it. So, but that's where I get a lot of that stuff from. Does that make sense, Jeff?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yep. Give me a few minutes. I got my baby in here. I hear her crying. My husband's there trying to do something with her. But I will get her settled and then I'll put that in the chat for you guys. But it's I've gotten some good responses. I haven't recruited anybody yet off of that. I got one girl that's really looking at it. But I think it's a good, because I was pulling that anyway with resumes. I was pulling the realtors. So, anybody else have anything? Y'all good? Make sense? No? Clear as mud?
No, that's good.
Okay. All righty. Well,
Thanks.
I
Yeah.
will.
Amy.
Oh, you're welcome. If y'all have any
Yeah, thank
questions,
you.
just let me know. Huh?
I said thank you. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. If y'all need anything, just let me know. And I'll put that in the chat for you guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, Tammy.
You're welcome. All right, y'all have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
You too
Have a good
now.
night.
Thanks.
All righty.
Bye.